Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us today. My name is Hajra Talat, and I will be your host for today's webinar on impact of digital transformation on financial audit practices, leveraging technology for efficiency and accuracy. Before we dive into the session, let me provide a brief introduction about our company, ACME Group. ACME Group has established itself as trusted tax and financial solutions provided across GCC region and Egypt. We are committed to delivering high quality solutions tailored to the needs of various businesses across different industries. Our focus on quality and expertise has allowed us to build long-term relationships with our clients. Our exceptional team consistently delivers value efficiently, making us preferred service provider in the region. Now, let me introduce our esteemed speaker for today's webinar, Mr. Taimur Khatak. Mr. Taimur is an experienced and audit manager and tax consultant with over 6 years of experience in accounting, auditing, tax compliance, budgeting, and financial reporting. He holds a BSc in Applied Accounting and is a certified accounting technician and ACCA member. Temur excels in managing accounting operations, performing audits, and ensuring VAT compliance. His skills in evaluating internal controls and resolving tax queries make him a trusted advisor, providing valuable recommendations to enhance the client's financial practices. Before we start, I would encourage everyone in the audience to share your questions in the Q&A section. I repeat, please share your questions in the Q&A rather than raising your hands because in that scenario, the speaker cannot see you and they won't be able to answer your questions. So please put any questions that you have in the Q&A section so that they can take the questions and answer you and you gain maximum value out of the webinar as your participation is very valuable for us. Now, I would like to hand over the stage to Mr. Temur to begin the webinar. Over to you, Mr. Temur.
Thank you, Hajra, for using such kind words. Today's webinar is about impact of digital transformation on financial audit practices, and how can we leverage the technology to achieve the accuracy and efficiency at the same time. So with that, we'll start jumping into the webinar. So for table of contents, first of all, we'll be discussing how the audits were before the digital transformation. And after digital transformation, we'll be studying a case study, how we can use machine learning in the audit innovation, how we can increase the cybersecurity in digital audits, how we can implement our digital audit in the first place. So yeah, Mozam, next slide. Okay, so as far as the audits are concerned before digital, everything was done manually, which was much more time-consuming process, and the reasons were, first of all, it was consuming more time, but at the same time, it was achieving less accuracy. Why? Because the size of the sample was limited. It had mainly two reasons, the time constraint and the lack of human power. So the sample size was limited on the basis of the materiality and performance materiality. But as far as humans are concerned, they're bound to make mistake. There's always a chance of error. So before digital transformation, there was a risk of error. To counter it, financials were reviewed multiple times, but still there was always a chance. At the same time, there was a lack of real-time oversight because everything that was under review was the historic data. So it was no real-time auditing. even not just the external audit, but even an internal audit. When it comes to the limited scalability in global audits. So when the companies, for example, let's say if there's a company under the audit process which is based in different regions, so different regions are following different laws and regulations based on their local compliance. So it was very difficult for auditors to monitor everything, and each of the region was audited on the basis of you can say standalone. So so the scalability of the group audits or the global audits was quite limited. What was the next slide? As far as digital drivers reshaping the auditing landscape is concerned, after the digital transformation, there was a massive growth in the data volume and complexity. So as far as the sampling is concerned, now even the 100% data can be reviewed and can be observed using different tools, AI tools. Um, there is much more demand from the like nowadays, even the stakeholders or the owners of the companies or investors, uh, they are looking for the real-time insights as far as the auditing finding is concerned, or recommendations are concerned, because they themselves are having enough knowledge about the tech. um, there is a rise in regulatory demands for digital traceability. When it comes to digital traceability, basically we are referring to, so now, for example, let's say that there's a whole trail of transactions. For example, let's say who initiated that transaction, who placed the order, who reviewed it, who approved it. So everything can be seen. So nothing is hidden now. Uh, as far as cost pressure pushing for greater audit efficiency is concerned, yes, the new auditing tools are expensive, um, but ultimately it will justify the cost. What's the next slide? As we talked earlier, now with digital auditing tools, we can uh, review the complete sample, which means full population testing, replacing sample-based approach. There's a consistent traceable workflows via platform, reduce risk of oversight with intelligent alerts. So what happens is, if there is a transaction which is not approved, or you can say there's a red flag in it, the system itself highlights it. I mean, system automatically detects such transaction and brings into the limelight, or you can say focus. Improved fraud detection using AI-driven models. Um, so because nowadays the review is being done in each individual stage, so fraud detection is much easier to what it was before. Accelerated audit timelines. Now the audit timelines have much more squeezed. The financial audits don't take that much time the way they used to, while achieving the accuracy and efficiency. Mouse on next slide. So with this, we come up to the first poll question of the webinar. Are your organization's financial records currently maintained using cloud-based computing accounting software? The time starts now. You have 30 seconds. right? So the time's up. 70% people have answered as yes, their companies are following the cloud-based computing. Even the 29% which are not doing it right now, hopefully they will start soon. As far as audit workflow transformation is concerned, it's a quick snapshot. So for planning, risk profiling, now guided by AI, identifies anomalies without prior rules and speeds up the document reviewing using uh, natural language processing, which is NLP. So natural language means, just like, for example, let's say if we are communicating with Chat GPT, so the AI can understand the human language now. So it's easy to communicate with AI-driven tools. It's much more easy to do the audit planning. You know, People make dashboards. Using Power BI. It provides us the real-time data, along with if there is a new data. You can foresee the if there's any potential red flag in the future on the basis of it. As far as the field work is concerned, data analytics replace manual walkthroughs, recommends audit priorities based on the patterns. So any transaction which is out of the pattern, or is something new that the system is not aware of, reviews collaborative cloud-based platforms. And the data is maintained in the cloud-based platforms, um, which makes it easy for accessing it and reviewing it. And the data is accessible for all of the people who are authorized to. Uh, when it comes to reporting, dashboards allow real-time updates. So basically, all of the dashboard, they provide the information as of the same day when it's being reviewed. So it's more a real-time update to all of the stakeholders. For archiving, digital vaults ensure long-term compliance. There are conditions which are, if there has been some certain conditions put in the system, if there is a chance or there is a scenario of non-compliance, it will highlight and bring into the attention so that it can be sorted and the compliance can be achieved. What's the next slide? So it's a case study for a mid-sized firm's digital shift. Initially, they were having audit delays due to the manual processes. The timeline which was required to finish each individual audit um, was serious number of hours. Then they implemented cloud ERP and audit dashboard. As a result, audit time cut out by almost 40%, which improved accuracy and efficiency. Then also the finance staff spent less time on preparation of the audit. So as a takeaway for this slide, a hybrid approach, which means technology plus people works best. So there has to be a human involvement along with the uh, digital technology. Awesome. Next slide. For the core, for predictive analysis and risk detection, maps transaction flows for deeper insight. Um, all of the predictive, or you can say repetitive transactions, if they're happening in the business, if there's any anomaly, uh, you know, uh, it will be highlighted along with the other transactions which are regularly performed. Much deeper insights will be provided. It automates the rule-based repetitive tasks, learns from past audits to evolve. So all of the historic data that has been input in the system will automatically, you use all of the transactions which would happen before as standard transactions, and then it will learn on its own. Uh, And if there's a small deviation to it, it will adapt to it. But a major deviation, surely it will be highlighted. Uh, Facilitates global access and scalability. So, for example, let's say if any blockchain platform is used, it can be accessed from anywhere in the world. It provides much more security because all of the transaction tracks will be recorded and they cannot be edited as the information is being stored in the shape of blocks. So one block after the other, anything which has been in the blockchain cannot be removed. Enables audit intelligence. Because all of the data is at one point, so the audit can be performed in much more mature way. It also provides big data analytics. Uh, yeah, as the review of the data is on much more bigger level, so the analysis which is extracted from the software is much more reliable. Awesome. Next slide. Awesome. Next slide. So this is the time for second poll question. Have you participated in a digital or partially digital financial audit in the past 12 months? The time is 30 seconds. Your time starts now. 73% people have not ever been part of either the digital or partially digital financial audit process in the past 12 months. Um, I would say, even if it's not a completely digital financial audit, like the ones, the accounting softwares that we are using nowadays, qualifies for partial digital financial audit. Um, but if fully digital audit, financial audit uh, is gone through, it will be much more quicker. Mazum, next slide. So for machine learning's role in audit innovation, uh, it provides dynamic risk model adapt to business changes. As nowadays, business continuously adapt to the new changes as the market is changing, trends are changing. The AI tool has the capacity to adapt those changes, flags irregularities via unsupervised learning. So if there have been proper approvals and reviews being made, it will accept it. Otherwise, it will flag the irregularities. Predicts the high risk period or entities. For example, it has the capacity to see that in some certain period the company is having more sale than the rest of the year, or in some certain periods the company is having less sale than the rest of the year. And if there is a dramatic anomaly in that period, it will predict it. Continuously improves feedback. So it's like there's a constant communication going on, you can say. For each and every irregularity, it will be communicated in a timely manner. Enhances test selection beyond human guesswork. If the company is having a very high volume of transactions, uh, as far as sampling and reviewing of those transactions is concerned, it's beyond human capabilities. It's 100%. Awesome. Next slide. So for real-time dashboards, uh, it enables instant stakeholder reporting. So stakeholders or the investors or the owners of the company have the access to the information at all time, whenever they wish to. Uh, as we mentioned earlier, it visualizes the anomalies and red flags, consolidates multiple data sets in one view, which helps in global reporting or the companies which are operating at larger scale in different regions. Tracks audit progress across different locations or different jurisdictions, offers drill downs into specific risk areas. So as long as the proper information has been put into the accounting system, uh, specifically the risky areas, it will focus more. Also, next slide. Again, this is a case study. Uh, an audit team across 5 countries used shared platform. As a result, they eliminated 40% of the travel cost because they were not required to travel across different regions. It improved cross-time zone collaboration. Uh, it enabled faster report delivery by 25%, reduced data silos with centralized access, as all of the information was centralized, available in one cloud system. So it was accessed by the different teams, which were based in different regions. And it improved the process a lot. Muslim, next slide. So this is the third poll question. Do you believe automation will reduce the risk of human error in financial reporting? This is an easy question. You have 30 seconds and your time starts now. Time's up. 95% people believe that actually it will reduce the risk of human error, which is true. Muslim, next slide. So using blockchain for audit assurance, it provides unchangeable transaction logs, as I mentioned. Once a transaction has been input into the blockchain blocks, um, it can never be removed. It can never be altered. Even if the, let's say, even for example, a mistake has occurred in a system which uses blockchain, a corrective entry or a correct entry must be made. But as far as the initial transaction which was put in the system will never be removed, no one can delete it. It will always remain there. So as a result, there is always a trace, or you can say it can be that there's a complete transaction trail which can be reviewed or followed. Reduces need for third-party confirmations, um, because everyone has access to blockchain platform as a concept of technology. So if everyone will have the access to blockchain, that means everyone can review it, and that also means there is no third-party confirmation required. Speeds up the inventory audits via traceable flows. So as far as inventory inflows and outflows are concerned, it will act like a inventory tracker, enhances trust in intercompany transaction, as far as the information is concerned. Both of the intercompanies which are related parties can see each other's details in one platform. So it will definitely enhance the level of trust. Smart contracts trigger automatic compliance checks. So as far as the nature of contracts are concerned, if they're much more detailed and if all of the conditions are mentioned in the contracts, uh, the system will automatically see if if it's going through the compliance or it's going slightly away from compliance. So it will automatically keep a check. Mozum, next slide. So as far as okay, challenges in the shift to digital audits. It's integrating the legacy systems, which means the systems which were followed earlier and the new system. It's integrating both, ensuring staff digital literacy. So this is one of the problems because if the companies need to keep their staff trained and educated about the new innovations and new technology, which are playing an important role in financial audits. So keeping up with the information is one of the challenges that companies are facing. The balancing the speed with data accuracy is also one of the problems. Um, as far as data accuracy and timeliness considered, they can be achieved, but inputting the data in the system accurately is the main challenge. Balancing human judgment with machine recommendations. Um, of course, AI-driven tools and machine are playing an important role, but there has to be a human judgment or a human supervision, playing side by side will play an important role. So if we don't balance the machine recommendations out by human judgment, still there's a chance of problem. So a human supervision is always required. Managing cybersecurity threats. So as far as the data of the company is concerned, it will be on cloud computing or cloud systems, cloud ERP systems. So there has to be locks and passwords for certain files. As far as access is concerned, it should be based on the hierarchy process. Only certain people of the entity should be able to access the sensitive data. Otherwise, it can be a threat if anyone can access data without permission. Mozum, next slide. So this is the fourth poll question. Is your finance team trained to use analytics or data analytics or automation tools for pre-audit preparation? You have 30 seconds. Your time starts now. The time's up. 60%, 62% people are not yet fully trained for the pre-audit preparation. I believe they should start working on it. When it comes to using automation tools, if they start creating dashboards and reflecting all the ratios, it will help them to prepare for the financial audits as early as possible. It will highlight all the anomalies which there is, if there is any. Muslim, next slide. So for cybersecurity in digital audits, data encryption for in-transit and at-rest files, the data needs to be encrypted. And there has to be some password on the file. Secure audit trail logs for every action. So as far as the access to the audit trail logs is concerned, there has to be certain approval system. before the access to the trail. Endpoint protection on auditor devices. So there has to be an endpoint protection. So for example, let's say as an auditor, if we are accessing the client data, it should not be like it can be accessed by, first of all, any other device. So it should be only accessed through some certain devices um, at certain workplaces. So the access needs to be limited. Multi-factor authentication code on audit platforms. So if someone is trying to access it, there ha as far as the authentication is concerned, or checking is concerned, it has to be multi-factor. There has to be some codes or some email check which needs to be done. Incident response protocols built into tools. So there has to be some certain protocols. If someone who is not allowed is trying to access the data, it should provide a notification to the concerned people to be aware of the threat. Was the next slide? So for real world adoption barriers, cost plays an important role. Cost concerns for new technology investment. Um, as so small companies are having a hard time in adapting those technologies. Um, but even if they cannot actually directly adapt those technologies, still they can use basic AI tools like Power BI and start making dashboards. Resistance from traditional audit teams. So people who are working with a conventional mindset, they also play a big role. I mean, they are not uh, too much up for the change uh, or the work change in work practice, you can say. Vendor lock-in fears with platform tools. So as far as the vendors are concerned, sometimes even the vendors are not comfortable if we are using different platforms or tools for communication. Difficulty in justifying ROI because it keeps uh, a proper check on the staff. So it can also act as one of the problems. Training time versus audit cycle time. So one of the concern is if it reduces the audit cycle time, but at the same time it consumes training time. So this is something which needs to be gone through, or you can say cost benefit analysis needs to be performed for it. Awesome. Next slide. So when it comes to talent shift in audit roles, there has no, the data analyst integrated into audit teams, and now we can see that because of the growing technology, there has been a recent shift. We see there are so many IT people and data analysts which are now part of the audit teams. There are coders working alongside the CAs, so to make the accounting software in a way which fulfills the compliance. At the same time, it is saving time as well. Digital ethics of officers ensure governance. So nowadays, pretty much all of the audit firms are having a digital ethics officer. For example, let's say AML compliance officers also when it comes to technology. With technology, they monitor the compliance of AML and other regulatory requirements. Uh, there is interdisciplinary backgrounds in demand. Soft skills like critical thinking still are very much essential. Was the next slide? So this is time for the fifth poll question. Do you feel confident that your current accounting practices are audit ready in a digital environment? You've got 30 seconds and your time starts now. Fair enough. So 33% people are not confident, 38% people are, or 42% people are confident, and 26% people have answered as maybe. So for the people who are not confident, this is a high time. They should start training themselves for the digital environment that will be shaping the future. So, and as far as the accounting practices are concerned, they need to make sure that they are IFRS compliant. They are um, as far as the legal compliance is concerned, that is obtained. As far as the tax compliance is concerned, that must also be obtained. They need to consider all of those segments well in time. I believe most of the companies, most of the companies have a financial year from January till December, so their financial year has already ended, and they'll be going soon for the corporate tax return filing. So before they go for the filing, I believe they should improve the accounting practices as much as possible. Mozam, next slide. So, for implementing digital audit, the very first step is to conduct tech readiness assessment. You do it by conducting training sessions and making sure that the team is up to the mark and ready for the change. Defining KPIs for the automation pilots to see if the automated system is robust and performing the job as expected. Choosing scalable and integrable tools. Certain tools need to be adapted for which, as far as the data sampling and data check is concerned, it's like uh, to the full maximum level. It involves IT and risk management early. So the IT team needs to be up to date and prepared for it also. Then they can run the dry tests before full rollout. So they can do the initial testing for a case study. If everything is in line and doing the job as expected, then they can start implementing the full rollout software. Muslim, next slide. From traditional to continuous internal auditing, it monitors controls in near real time. You can say as far as it shows the live dashboards, sends alerts on rule violations. So as far as the red flags are concerned, or if there is any rule that has been broken, it will send the alert or notification at the same time. Provides ongoing assurance to stakeholders as it's providing the real-time data to the stakeholders. So if they have any concern, or if they have any if they want to go through the information, they can go through it on real-time basis. Allows quick issue remediation. So as it highlights the data, it or it as it highlights the red flags, it also provides us the facility that if we take the remediation action, it can be sorted quickly as well on a timely basis. Reduces reliance on point-in-time audits and focuses more on real time. Nazim, next slide. So this is the sixth-fold question. Have you encountered challenges integrating new technologies with legacy accounting systems? Your time starts now. Your time's up. 56% people are facing challenges. 56% people are in fact not facing any challenges when it comes to integrating new technologies with legacy accounting systems. So they are more comfortable, but 43% people are not comfortable. Mozam, next slide. So measuring success beyond efficiency, we need to obtain the increased fraud detection rates. We need to make sure, first of all, the fraud is not happening at all in the first place. But if it happens, the system is smart enough to detect it. It reduces errors and rework. As human beings are bound to make mistakes. Once they make an error, of course, they need to rework and make a correction on it for it. So for systems, they don't make errors, and as a result, the time which will be spent on reworking will be saved. Higher stakeholder satisfaction, because the stakeholders will be much more confident about the information that is provided to them uh, on uh, on real-time basis. They will feel, of course, satisfied. Faster turnaround on audit reports and improved internal audit scorecards. So the audit reports will be performed in much more quicker way. And as far as internal audit scorecards are concerned, there will be less issues. There will be less problems, which will be countering it. Mozum, next slide. So when it comes to the questions that finance leaders should ask, they should be more concerned about that are our audit systems ready? If they are not ready, then it needs to be worked on. And if certain equipments or certain software needs to be purchased or obtained, they should work on it. Uh, do they have enough documentation in digital format? So it's very important to keep the documentation in digital format in the accounting systems. For example, let's say the invoicing, even the expense documents, everything which is there, which they are putting in the accounting system, they should put a soft copy of it and attach it in the system as well. What risks do we face in our current manual processes? So there's a because of the human involvement, there's always a risk of making mistakes, putting a wrong digit, putting a wrong number, not performing reconciliation on time, or the data which is being reflected in financial statement is not accurate. So these are the risks that a lot of companies are facing. How can automation help improve audit readiness? So when the data automation is in place, that means the data is every time available for being audited, and it's continuously being checked. So it saves the audit preparation time, and also it saves a lot of time when it comes to the reviewing of those documents. What training is needed for the team? The team is, required to be updated about the digital shift and the new technology which is coming in. So they need to continuously track and improve themselves as much as possible. Muslim, next slide. That's it from my side. Over to you, Hajra.
Thank you so much, Temur, for this wonderful session. I can see already a lot of people are putting their questions, and before that, I would like to let our audience know that um, we have our review on the Google QR code in front of the screen. So please review our webinar, review our company, and I we have our rating for the today's webinar live as well. Please share your feedback on that, and please put in your questions so that we are aware as what should be improved and what needs to be changed, and if we are doing right work and if we are doing good work here. So thank you so much again. As I said, Temur, it was a very engaging session as I can see a lot of questions coming in. So I would like to now invite Temur and Miss Bima to address the questions that our wonderful audience has put in. Over to you, Bima.
Hi, good morning, everyone. Thank you, Mr. Taimo, for your insightful and engaging presentation. You have provided a clear understanding of how digital transformation is impacting the audit. And your practical examples and the case studies were especially valuable. So we will move into the Q&A session. We have received a few questions from our webinar participants. So we will be addressing as many of them as the time follows. So we'll move to the first question. How can digital tools help auditors identify and reduce financial risk more effectively? The question is from Mr. Nazar.
So first of all, because it highlights the business anomalies and the any red flag in the transactions on a timely basis. So it automatically highlights any risky area. Other than that, to reduce the financial risks, the auditor needs to if they are not using, for example, let's say digital tools, they need to increase the sample size. If they are using digital tools, they need to make sure that the sample of 100% is being checked. That's the only way to reduce the risk.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Taimur. So we'll move to the second question. The question is from Ms. Fatima. What are the biggest challenges auditors face when starting with the digital tools and how can they overcome them?
So first of the challenge that they face is initially they're not ready for it. So they need to first of all learn how to use the digital tools themselves. Once they know, they need to make sure that the team who's working with them are also comfortable. Um, and if once all of them know how to use the digital tools in a way, um, uh, then they need to make sure that data which they are reviewing is safeguarded in the best way possible, because I believe this is the biggest challenge nowadays, that if all of the data is in one platform, and that platform is not secured enough, then there is a data privacy issues, and data can be leaked. So this is the biggest challenge I believe the auditors they face right now.
Okay, Mr. Taimur. So the next question is from Mr. Jonas. What are the major drawbacks or errors that can happen while automation?
Okay. As far as drawbacks are concerned, and the only drawback initially that they have is it requires a hefty investment or cost. Other than that, the second drawback that it has is uh, that there has to be a human involvement. If there is no human involvement in the digital shift or the automation tool, there will be there will always be a certain level of risk on the recommendations. So there has to be some human involvement and human supervision involved in the process.
Okay, Mr. Taimur. So we'll move to the next question. The question is from Mr. Ramshid. How does automation improve audit accuracy and reduce human error?
Uh, as far as accuracy is concerned, it improves the accuracy because it checks each and every transaction, which is not humanly possible for a scale of a company which has, for example, let's say thousands of transactions or hundreds of thousands of transactions. It's not humanly possible to check every transaction. So, what conventional auditors were doing was making a sample of it and then going through the sample. And as far as the reduction in human error is concerned, machine is kind of like error free. Unlike humans, we have the capacity to make errors.
Okay, so we'll move to the next question. The question is from Ms. Kushbu. How can
Mhm.
small and mid-sized audit firms start their digital transformation journey with limited resources?
So initially, if even if it's a small or mid-level firm and they cannot afford to obtain the costly automated systems, they can start with building the basic dashboards. They can start using Power BIs. They can start reviewing the data on a timely basis, or maybe you can say they can put in systems using Power BI to which will help them, see the historical data, and on the basis of that, and whenever the new information is put in the system, it will provide them the future red flags if there are any.
Okay. So next question from Mr. Hakan. How can auditors keep sensitive client data safe when using the cloud-based platforms?
There has to be a password for all of the files, and as far as the access to those files is concerned, there has to be certain approval culture in the organization. So only the relevant people are allowed to access certain sensitive information, not everyone.
Okay. So next question from Muhammad Ali. What kind of training do auditors need to work effectively with new digital tools? How they can be like updated always?
So it's like any other technology. Uh, for example, let's say there's a new edition of phone every year, and we keep ourselves updated about how to use about how to use it. Similarly, in AI and audit tools, it's an ongoing process. It never ends. As the technology is evolving, they have to continuously improve themselves and keep learning and keep uh, uh, keep themselves at a situation where they know what are the new tools are and how to use them.
Okay, Mr. Taimur. So the next question from Ms. Ala. So there are a lot of AI tools now in market. So how does AI help in audit processes and what are its current limitations? So can we use this AIs as a like
Okay,
we can
so
use
so
it as a control?
yeah, so when it comes to how it helps in audit processes, mainly it helps in by reducing the time required for the assignment. It also helps us by achieving the 100% accuracy. As far as the limitations are concerned, the only limitation is that it's costly and it requires certain training. And not everyone can use it.
Okay. So the next question from Ms. Jennifer. Can you give some example of these digital tools and technologies in audit practices today's market?
Okay, so now, for example, they can use, for example, let's say SAP. SAP has its own AI acceptability. It can help in performing the financial audit.
Okay. Thank you. So, as due to the time limitations, we'll move to the last question. The question is from Mr. Walid. What KPIs can firms use to measure the success of digital transformation in their audit process?
Okay. So the first KPI that they can use for the success of digital transformation in their audit process is achieving 100% check of the transactions. The second KPI that they can maintain is putting the conditions in the system to make sure it achieves the legal compliance and regulatory compliance. So if there is any compliance related issue, it will highlight. For example, let's say if if there's a different amount shown in the system and there's different VAT filing done, it should be able to highlight it. Um, so if it's if there are certain conditions which are put in the system, it will help them achieve the successful financial audit process.
Okay, Mr. Taimur. So that concludes our Q&A session. Thank you everyone who submitted the questions and special thanks to Mr. Taimur for his invaluable insights. So over to you, Hajra, for the closing remarks.
Thank you so much, Temur. Thank you so much, Bima, for addressing the questions from our wonderful audience. And thank you so much in our audience who have reviewed and give the rating. And I can see the thumbs up coming up, and I can see the 5 stars as well. And thank you so much. Your presence is truly appreciated, and it's very valuable for our session. And it's it's a very impactful session. We learned something new about blockchain AI for the audits, and we are looking forward to have a lot of such sessions in the future as well. And we look forward to connecting with you again in the future webinars that we will be conducting, of course. So until then, if you have any queries, please feel free to reach out to us. The numbers are given on the screen for excise, VAT, corporate tax, audit, anything. Please feel free to reach out or drop us an email, give us a call, and our team will be there to support you. Thank you so much once again for everyone who has joined us today, and we will see you next time. Until then, have a great day ahead. Bye.